Hello friends, let's move forward and implement authentication and authorization. And to do this, we are going to use passportjs, but before that, let's see what we have already in our application. We have the login page where user can log in and it will land to the dashboard page. But here in dashboard page, we don't have any checking now. So anyone can access this page with login or without login. And also if the login is failed, so we are not showing any message, the reason. So let's do this all these things now. So we need to implement the passport.js and with all the other dependencies also. Now the next step is to import all these files in our app.js and then make use of those files. So start by implementing one by one. Now we need to decide the strategy we are going to use. We are going to use local strategy for now. So let's create one file inside the config passport.js and we were going to use local strategy here to validate the authentication. Here we're going to implement a middleware that will basically take the user email provided by the user in the login form, and it will check in the database whether the email is present or not. Basically the user is present or not with that email. To save time, I'm going to copy and paste the code from my existing project. So here we'll just check if user is present, then we are going to call the done method provided by the passport, and in the done method, basically based on the condition, we will set the message if email is not registered or the password is incorrect, this sort of messages. If it's present, then we will not send any message and return the user in the second parameter. Also, we need to compare the password before sending the message using bcrypt.js. So bcrypt.compare. So let's import that bcrypt.js also. And here we have the compare method. We will pass the user provided data and the data we received from the database, and these things is needed pass the user serialize and deserialize. You will get these details in the passport documentation. With these changes, we are good to implement this one in our app.js. So with this, import all the dependencies and set all the middlewares. Here we are setting middleware for using session with our secret key. We are doing passport initialize and passport session, and also we are setting some global variables here. So to make use of this global variable in our AJS file. And the last thing in this process is to set our login mechanism. Here we are not going to need this. Instead, we will call passport.authenticate method and we will pass our login success and failure redirection. So login success is our dashboard. If it's success login, it will go to dashboard. If it's failure, it will come back to the login page with the messages. Let's check if the login is working or not. So let's start our server, and here we have one error. We need to install the passport local also since we are using the local strategy. So let's install this one. With this, our authentication mechanism is done. Now let's implement the authorization also in the application so that anyone cannot access our dashboard page. To start with this one, create a file in the config folder, say auth or is authenticated.js file. We are going to use request.isAuthenticated function provided by the passport, and if this is logged in, it will be true, otherwise it will be false. Go to our dashboard route and use this function as a middleware here. Now with this, also show the logged in user name in our dashboard page. To do this one, in the render function, as a second parameter, we're going to pass these properties. So say user name will be passing, and here we will pass the username. In the EJS page of dashboard EJS file, we need to just use that variable. So let's use that one using the syntax provided by the EJS. And that's it. Let's have a look. As you can see, it's showing here. So let's try to log in back with the same user, and we can see the name of the user is showing here. Okay, now add a menu to log out the user. So to do this one, let's go to our layout EJS file and implement a new menu logout. Here we need to define the logout. It will be get and logout, and here we just going to use the request and response, and then we'll just log out the user and redirect back to our login page. Let's try this out. Login with the user, click on the logout, and it is going back to the login page, so it is working. Now it's time to change the menus as per the logged in user. In the layout EJS file, we need to know whether the user is logged in or not. To get this one, let's declare one variable here, say sessions, and then just assign request.session here. With this change, move back to EJS file, and we're going to implement one if block here. If the user session is not present, then we're going to show the login button. If user session is present, don't show the login and register button, instead show the logout button. Okay, we have a template error now. Let's fix that one. We are going to remove the home menu for now, and we are also going to introduce dashboard menu when user is logged in. Let's try to log in back in the application. We logged in, dashboard logout, and now it's register and login page. So let's try one more time. So this is working properly as expected, and we are done with the implementation here. Thank you friends for watching this. Let me know your comment, good, bad.